Hey guys, Trevor Boone from Emerald City Guitars. So for my pick of the day, got a few separate items here. The guitar is a 1959 Gibson ES-345. Really cool model, I'll get into a little deeper. A pre-owned, mint condition, original box, everything, Friedman Smallbox 50, which is just a killer Plexi recreation, one of the best on the market. And then just got this 1980 cab in here. This has G12-80s in it, which are like the Marshall Celestion labeled 412s, all matching. And yeah, cool checkerboard straight cab. So we'll get to a little bit of everything here. Let's start with this guitar. So again, this is in 1959, obviously tobacco sunburst ES-345. So the 345 differs in a few major ways, which I'll explain. Obviously this whole Varitone knob, the 335 did not have. The gold hardware, these cool inlays. Couple differences. It was actually supposed to be a fancier guitar, but this whole Varitone, which basically was designed so you could go through two different amplifiers. Gibson had this awesome idea in the 1950s or 59 that you could, why not go stereo? And you could kind of crank here, go to that amp, split the difference. It limited the popularity of it because it was just too much to handle. It was kind of like a little bit of that Jazzmaster Jaguar deal where the engineer side took over a little bit, where people just wanted to plug into the amp and really don't have to worry about that, at least on the guitar. I think that's a great outboard feature, but it just didn't really work out. So what a lot of people do, disconnect that and make it mono like a 335. And you basically get a 59 335 for half the price. This has PAFs. One of them is a narrow spacing, which probably came out of a Birdland or something like that, but fits it perfectly. So two really cool gold-plated PAFs that sound awesome, really nice balance, and really encompasses that whole PAF crazy sparkle brilliance that they have. So the gold hardware is in good condition, but it's been obviously faded, a little oxidized over the years, and that just happens, 1959. So again, 59 is a huge year for Gibson. The Les Paul Bursts are famous for that year. 335s, just sold a couple of those, and they're marvelous guitars. When you have that dried out, big 335, 345, 55 body style, you don't get that feedback that 330s are prone to, and that is largely due to that solid maple block here. So when it came in, the frets were dead, the original frets, and they were just super low. So I handed it over to Mark Tossman, who's our, one of our awesome repair guys, and we passed this over to him, and he did a perfect refret. It's absolutely incredible. It has the original size that would come on here, but they're just fresh, perfectly intonated. The guitar is ready to go. It is still wired stereo, but you can rearrange that wiring, which is exactly what I would do. I would just make it as close to 335 as possible. That way you don't have to deal with any of that, or the stereo jack, or the, there's a trick to get both pickups by kind of taking it out a little bit. Ideally, I just think they should be set up like a 335, but that's just me. The guitar includes the original hardshell case. I always love the look of these cases. They're like big burst case, and that pink interior just really pops. It's got the original stereo cable. It also has the original gold Clouson tuning keys, which at this point, the formula on these, they would disintegrate in the cases. So people pop them off to reserve those, put some new ones in there. But anyways, it's just nice to have that included, and completes kind of the history and get a little bit more of the story of a guitar that's been around for a long time. Besides that, there are no issues, there's no breaks, there's no overspray. The guitar is fabulous. You will run into zero issues. It has been fully serviced, so this needs nothing. It will play perfectly when it arrives to you. So just to wrap this up, again, to me, it's so much guitar for the price range, and I think they're just gonna skyrocket. I think that, they have everything that a 335 has, even more, but they just, there's a little bit of limited popularity. All right, Friedman, look them up, they're everywhere. This is really cool. Again, it came from a collector who's got some awesome boutique stuff, and it's just a lot of amp. You gotta have a good cab for it. But it's a 50-watt Plexi Marshall, basically, and they sound awesome. And I thought this would be appropriate cab, 1980 Marshall. As I mentioned, it has the G12-80s in it. I really like those speakers, and I haven't seen them come through for a while, and we tested it with a couple heads, and it sounds really nice. So anyways, you guys get a break from me playing and from flipping this thing upside down. Karl Van Der Velden is going to plug this rig in and make it sound good. So let's get to it. Thank you guys once again. This was a 1959 original Gibson ES-345 412 Marshall in a used but mint condition Friedman Smallbox 50 head. See you next time.